Hello everyone, I'm Factsman and you're watching Just Top 10. The people who come in our mind when we hear rich people are most probably Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, or Warren Buffett. And you're right, these are the richest people alive, but when it comes to the richest people in the history, the wealth of these people don't come even close. So, without further delay, let's get right into today's video titled Richest People in the History. Number 10. Osman Ali Khan. Peak net worth $230 billion. The last ruler of Hyderabad, India, Khan was absolute leader of the princely state from 1911 and 1948. And for a good part of the 20th century, he was known as richest man in the world with an estimated fortune of $2 billion by the early 40s. This is equivalent to 2% of the US economy, around $230 billion today. Number 9. Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. Peak net worth $300 billion. Nicholas Romanov ruled over the Russian Empire from 1894 to 1917, during which time he had full access to nation's coffers, making him one of the richest monarchs in history. A 1916 estimate of Tsar's personal fortune equates to $300 billion of today's money. Number 8. Andrew Carnegie. Peak net worth $337 billion. From humble beginnings in Scotland, Andrew Carnegie led the massive expansion of US steel industries in late 19th century, amassing a personal fortune economists estimate would be worth $337 billion nowadays. A full-on philanthropist, Carnegie gave away 90% of his fortune to various charities and education establishments during the last years of his life. Number 7. John D. Rockefeller. Peak net worth $367 billion. Widely regarded as richest American who ever lived, John D. Rockefeller founded the Standard Oil Company in 1870s and ended up controlling around 90% of the US oil business. Economist Peter Bernstein estimates the industrialist turned philanthropist had a personal fortune of $367 billion in today's money. Number 6. Mansa Musa I of Mali. Peak net worth $415 billion. Musa I is easily one of the richest people in history, amassing the equivalent of $415 billion during his 25 years reign from 1312 to 1327. King of Timbuktu and Malian emperor who controlled a huge empire which covered much of the modern-day Mali, Ghana, and had half of the world's supply of gold at his disposal, which was traded away with merchants from as far away as Venice, Genoa, and Egypt. Number 5. King Solomon of Israel. Peak net worth $2.2 trillion. According to the Bible, King Solomon, who ruled from 917 BC to 931 BC, and during this time, he is said to have received 25 tons of gold for each of his 39 years of reign, which would be worth billions of dollars in today's money. Along with the impossible riches amassed from taxation and trade, the biblical ruler's personal fortune could have surpassed $2 trillion in today's money. Number 4. Augustus Caesar. Peak net worth $4.5 trillion. The first Roman emperor who ruled the vast empire from 27th BC until his death in AD 14th boasted a personal fortune equivalent to 20% of the entire empire's economy, worth $4.5 trillion nowadays. At one point, Augustus even owned Egypt. It wasn't to last long, however. Poor economic performance and succession of military failures plagued his final years. Number 3. Akbar. Peak net worth $21 trillion. Renowned for his lavish lifestyle and patronage of the arts, this emperor conquered hundreds of square miles of territory and ruled over much of the Indian subcontinent, known as the Mughal Empire, from 1556 until 1605. He controlled around 25% of the world's GDP at the time, which would translate to a staggering $21 trillion today. Number 2. Emperor Shenzong of Song. Peak net worth $30 trillion. Shenzong ruled China from 1067 to 1085 during the peaceful prosperity and primary abundance eras, when he controlled around 30% of global GDP, the equivalent of $30 trillion today. Adept at controlling taxes, the emperor's administration wasn't all take, however. Its famous new policies, which helped improve the lives of poor, are seen as forerunner of the modern welfare state. Number 1. Genghis Khan. Peak net worth $100 trillion. The fearsome Mongol leader conquered a mind-blowing 12 million square miles of lands between 1206 and his death in 1227, more than anyone else in history. But while his hordes pillaged their way through huge swathes of Eurasia, the combined continental landmass of Asia, a territory that is now worth trillions of dollars, Khan didn't actually hoard his spoils, choosing to redistribute the stolen loot and territory among his subjects instead.